All right, we are live. I am joined here. I'm Austin. I'm joined here by CJ, and we are with Enhanced. How are you doing today, CJ? It's a special day here.
I'm doing great, Austin. How are you? Here we are, Lumines Arise launch day.
Yes.
Here.
I am very, very excited. We were talking about it just before the stream started. It's going to feel like 5 days to us in one, but yeah, we got up bright and early, hit the buttons, and seems like everyone is enjoying the game so far. But yeah, let us know what you think here in the chat. We're down to vibe with you. Some of you already finished the journey mode, which is excellent. But yeah, let us know what you think, and maybe you can snipe us in the multiplayer later on in the stream. But the goal today here is just to kind of overview the entire game, all the game modes, and kind of a jam-packed hour here, just so that we can overview the game for all the new players out there, right, CJ? So
that's right. If you're coming from Tetris Effect and you've never played a Luminous game, it's a little bit different, but hopefully the mechanics will click with you. And when they do, it's a wonderful thing. Trust me. Once it clicks, you're like, oh, I see everything now. I can see the matrix.
Yeah, and this is coming from us as Tetris fans. I feel like Luminous, it can be a little bit harder to give her that initial hump, but it's also easier to master. And when it does click, it's like you're in the groove and you can really keep up with the best, honestly. So, or rather, it's easier to master. So, definitely.
And Lumines Arise has a great tutorial at the beginning.
Yes.
And if you want to level up your skills, you can go into the missions mode and try the training missions. And there's 60 of those, and they help you refine your skills with the mechanics.
So yeah, CJ is referring to this mission mode in the bottom left here. So when you first open journey mode, I'm not on a fresh account right now, but you're also going to get a notification to play the tutorial. But you can always hop into that mission mode, whether you need to take a break from the journey and just kind of learn some basics, or if you just want to replay the tutorial of something. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times. With the burst mechanic, for example, it's good to take a few attempts at the tutorial, really wrap your head around it, because the burst can take you so far in the game, right?
It's true.
Yeah, which we'll get into. But hey, maybe we should just play the tutorial here, CJ, as we are kind of just showcasing the game to new players. Yeah. And I bet many of you haven't even played Luminous yet. So what is Luminous? Simply put, you want to make a 2x2 square of the same pattern, right? So in this case, we're dropping the 2 blue circles onto 2 other blue circles, and bam, there's that 2x2 pattern. There's that timeline, CJ.
The timeline has come across. So yeah, any squares that you make, the timeline will pass through and clear them.
All right, so blocks.
Oh, by the way, Jake Twitchin in the chat. Hello,
Ooh,
Jake.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. Welcome in, Dr. Wellround. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat. Welcome on in on this launch day morning.
Yeah, I hope you all are enjoying Lumines Arise, and yeah, we're just going to be overviewing all the game modes and kind of do a 101 of Luminous at the same time here. So right. Yeah, and even if you are hopping into the game for the first time, definitely check out the tutorial, the mission mode, stuff like that, own your skills. But I assume most of the players, CJ, are getting immersed in the journey mode as we speak. But
I hope so.
Yeah. So blocks can be split when you place a block over an uneven column like we're about to do here. And then it also wants us to fulfill this 3x3 block, because a 3x3 block is a combo, because there's actually 4 little 2x2 squares inside that 3x3 block, right? And it takes 4 2x2 squares to create a combo. And we're about to get this cool bonus line. There we go, times 4. And another one times 8.
Great stuff.
All right, chain blocks. Ooh, chain's my savior most of the time. So
if you are a Tetris player, you may end up like creating lines of single colors. And actually, with the chain block, if you have constructed your playfield with lines of single colors, you can use that chain block, just connect it to one of those, and it clears out the entire chain. Any of the same color that's touching it'll just wipe. It's awesome.
All right, so every 2x2 square you clear is going to add to your burst meter, or your burst percentage, which hovers over the timeline, right? And now it's at max, so the game wants us to hit that burst button, so let's do that. All right, so now we want to kind of build around, typically I tend to look at where the number is flashing, right? And you want to put the block of the same pattern around that burst square, right? So the game is encouraging us to do that here. Because as we do that, it's going to shoot away the opposing colored blocks to the very top, right? As we can see here.
Yes. Yeah, you want to build around that burst square. So you see that Austin has a 51 burst. You want to just continue connecting blocks of the same type around it. So just surround anywhere you can. Sides, top, everywhere.
And it's okay if you make a mistake, just keep stacking, because oftentimes as long as you keep attaching to it, or even if you clear the squares over here separately, that actually will add to the burst counter as well. And every time you grow it, it'll kind of send away just singular cells of the blocks as well, right? So.
And then the opposite color, once burst is over, they fall back down and create like a huge screen clearing effect on there, and you can use that to continue your combo as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so using the burst to keep your combo going is always a great way to get high scores for sure. But one last thing, as the game is pointing out, definitely don't be shy to use that burst earlier at the 50% mark, especially if you're in trouble like we are here in the simulated scenario where we're at the top of our board, right, and only have so much space for blocks. So now's a great time to implement that half burst. So it's like, all right, let's clean this up a bit. Let's get a nice reset on our board. So let's hit that burst button. And it looks like we have a good opportunity with these blue blocks, right? So look at that. Our board is about to disappear.
In fact, I would say if you use burst when the board is almost full, you have a much greater chance of getting a huge burst. 313 right there. Wow.
That's pretty good for a tutorial burst. But yeah, so don't be shy, and like CJ was saying, it's almost good to have your board a little messy before you get that burst, because there's so much resource to work with to make that large square that you want, right? And large squares make everybody happy. So
That's right.
So that's the tutorial, which you'll usually see when you open up Journey Mode for the first time. Let's hop into it. Let's just hop in the first area and get a sneak peek of what exactly is the Journey Mode. And it's kind of a narrative-driven mode, CJ, if you have any more to explain on what Journey Mode is for our new players.
Yeah, Journey Mode is that main single-player mode, and it's got a bit of a narrative in it as well. We want you to feel certain emotions while you're playing, and it kind of it's a story about going from darkness into the light, like feeling alone, and hopefully by the end you'll see you'll have experienced an emotional journey, hopefully. And you'll free yourself and some Lumi avatars, and some good things happen with that.
By the way, our Lumi is currently in the bottom right, bobbing its head up and down, kind of like our man in the back here. It's unique animations for each level.
Yeah, and there's a lot of detail in each of these levels. Austin, can you do the very quick right and left once he's getting up?
Okay.
See if he lurches. There's a lot of fun details in the backgrounds that change even as you're moving blocks right and left, right? Yeah.
Right, pretty much any type of movement has a unique sound effect. So whether it's a singular movement, if I hold right, hold left, there's some cool, I'm thinking of this cooking stage, spoiler alert, and little water droplets, and when you hold left or right, it makes like a big splash of water, right?
Now, when you hold left and right, is he going to do his little wiggle to the right and left side? No?
Kind of. He's taking a wider walk, I guess.
A little wider walk.
We'll see what happens in So there's more than one phase in each stage, right? So the more squares you clear, you kind of advance the stage, and each phase will oftentimes, not so much in this stage, but sometimes you'll have a evolution of the blocks throughout the stage as well.
That's true.
All right. Let's see what he does now. Well, we got our letters flying around too on the bottom.
Okay. Oh,
So if you're in VR and you want to get immersive, try all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning also. Is an optional VR title. If you have a VR headset that you use for PC, you can play in VR as long as your system specs are good enough, so check the store page for that. Or if you have a PSVR 2, if you're playing the PlayStation 5 version, you can experience the game in VR there as well.
All right, so we got that
really
max
awesome
burst.
To be able to see more.
Oh, for sure, and kind of like with Tetris Effect, you kind of get a different feeling when you play in the VR versus 2D, right? And I mainly am a 2D player when it comes to puzzle games, but there's something that I love about the VR. Also, it's hard to ignore. Every time I hear this song, I just want to stop yapping and listen. But yeah, so sure. There are going to be some certain stages in VR where it's like you are definitely immersed, or you'll get a different feeling when you're playing it. So you can get a better encapsulation of all the visuals around you. All right, let's set up for a burst. And you were kind of talking about this earlier, right, CJ? I just kind of want to mess up my board a little bit. Let's get a lot of stuff on our screen before we press that burst button.
It can be a little difficult to purposely try not to make matches so to set up your board for a burst.
Yeah, that's a skill in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, and look at that. It just like completely destroys that half of the screen.
Yeah, hopefully some of you are like, oh, maybe I should have started my burst from the... Don't start from scratch if you have the option, right? Just kind of set it up, look at those big squares pretty easily.
And when all of that opposite color fell,
oh, right.
even more screen clearing happens.
Yeah, that's the favorite part for me, because it kind of keeps your combo going too, right? If you're going for high scores, combos is the key. So
it's true.
You're pretty much, if you have a large burst, for certain you're going to have a lot of blocks following.
Yeah.
This is.
I notice you're playing pretty fast. Do you need to play fast in this game?
Absolutely not.
Like I'm a beginner. I'm just starting, and I'm already wowed by what you're doing here. But I'm not going to be able to play this quickly. What do you think?
Yes, take your time. Play to your own pace. This game could be whatever you want it to be, right? Of course, I play a lot of puzzle games. I try to strategize, do all that, but really, Lumines Arise and NES games in general, you could just vibe out, try to de-stress, kind of intake the visuals, and what kind of things do you like to do when you're just playing through Lumines Arise in your playthroughs?
I'm definitely more of a vibe out player.
Yeah.
And in fact, we mentioned the tutorial and the training mission mode, which I think is great for beginners, but there's also some accessibility options in the game that really help de-stressify the gameplay. So we kind of talked about topping out. You might want to play with the no stress Luminous options here in the accessibility settings. There's 3 types. One will turn off the blocks from dropping automatically. So it's a block dropping puzzle game. You might notice blocks automatically drop into the playfield. You can turn that off. So if you don't like that, if you want to go at your own pace, you can just turn that part of No Stress Luminous on and decide exactly where you want to place something without having to worry about them dropping in. The second type, there's no topping out. So instead of topping out, the playfield will clear. Yeah, so you can just continue playing. And that's pretty nice too. If you just want to chill, not have the game judge you, or anything like that, you can do that. So I think that's great for people who are learning Lumines and are not into having the anxiety of almost topping out.
It's also just really good as like a sandbox kind of thing too. I like to kind of turn it on to like what I'm doing now, like practice setting up certain things like all clears, for example, right? And say I'm not happy with what I set up, I can start over, look at the next piece queue coming up. But yeah, because I know a lot of people like to. We often get a request for like a sandbox style mode for our games, right? And the No Stress Lumines is one way you can go about doing that.
Yeah. Additionally, for new players, if you're a little overwhelmed by the visuals in the game, you can turn a lot of effects off and you can zoom the playfield. So as you might notice, the playfield is zooming in and out as you play or tilting. You can turn all of that stuff off, and playfield transparency, if you turn that off, then it puts a black background behind the playfield, makes everything a little bit easier to see. So yeah, if you're new to Lumines or new to enhanced games and it's just a little overwhelming with the effects, you can tune everything to your comfortability. And I think that's key, because so many different people have different preferences when it comes to that stuff. Some people want it turned up, cranked up to 11. Other people are more like, I want to turn some stuff down and play it like a 5.
Right. Yeah, some stages especially, you're like, I'm surprised that it can actually, some of these effects can be turned off, right? But yeah, you get it pretty bare bones, which is nice. Even stuff like the zoom effect, so if it's like jarring when the game zooms in every time you get a square, right? And you get your board to a level. It's just easier on the eyes.
Yeah. Very important also, if you're, you know, with a game like this, I tend to not blink a whole lot while playing. You just get so immersed in everything. And sometimes it's nice to, be able to turn some of that stuff down and be gentle on your eyes.
Playfield effects.
And if you're playing on the Steam Deck, we are Steam Deck verified, which is awesome, because Lumines is a fantastic puzzle game to play portably. But you can change things like the text size to 120%, and you can zoom the playfield in to very near and have it be even more matched to a portable display. So if you're on the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck or even the PlayStation Portal, you can tailor it so it's a better portable experience, which is also very, very nice to have.
Or even if you're on your monitor, whether it's a widescreen setup or something like that, and you really want to get big with it. Like we have our giant astronaut right now. That is an option too. All right. And then, of course, at the very bottom, we have our spider and snake filter, which stay tuned, I guess, if you're playing through for the first time on why those are needed. But keep that in mind if you do have arachnophobia or anything like that. That can be turned off. Or the filter can be turned on, rather.
Right.
All right. Let's go back to normal here. Actually, let's leave on that No Stress Lumines in case I do top out.
Probably a good idea. The one thing about No Stress Lumines is that your scores, when played with that on, will not count towards the defeat. So if you're playing Journey mode, your score with that won't be counted. But if you're the type of player where you're new to Lumines and you don't really care about that, I would recommend putting this on and just enjoying yourself. And also using this as a sandbox, like Austin was saying, to just kind of get used to how everything's working in Lumines and not have to worry about getting anything.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn, and then once you think of it as training wheels, right? You can just take them off once you're ready to go, and you can full send it, get these high scores.
Yep. Yeah, traditionally Lumines, if you played it back on the PSP or any of the other versions like the Lumines Live for Xbox 360 or Supernova for PS3, you may be familiar with like the Lumines style being like sort of a survival-esque run, and Lumines Arise changes that a bit. This is more Tetris Effect style, where you do a group of levels in a single area and the game saves your progress, so you don't have to worry about having to do all the stages in one run. However, if you finish the journey mode It unlocks a survival mode, which is much more like that classic Lumines feel, where it is a run-based thing, and you try to complete all the stages in Journey for the highest score you can and get up. There's a leaderboard for that. So
yeah, that's probably the hardest way to. In a way, it's a harder difficulty just because you lose, you have to start over, right? So think of it as like some games it's thought of as like a hardcore mode, right? Like one life kind of thing. But yeah, if you're an OG player and you want to play it that way, it's actually quite the challenge to try to beat some of those difficulties on.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what meta evolves in terms of getting a high score in that survival method of play too, because it'll be some combination of using burst and keeping your combos up, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that evolves. Question in the chat about Classic Lumines. The multiplayer in Classic Lumines was a more tug-of-war mode. Is that included in Lumines Arise? It is not. So this has an entirely new multiplayer mode called Burst Battle, and it's much more traditional puzzle style where each player has their own play field and they drop garbage on the other player based on how well they're doing. Fantastic. 279.
This is the best part, is when all the blocks fall afterwards, right? It's the encore.
Yeah. Pinky in the chat asking about Shuffle. Does Survival shuffle the stages? No, it does not. It doesn't in order. However, if you wanted to do a shuffle, you can do that in playlist mode.
Right.
So as Austin is playing through Journey, or as you're playing through Journey, you unlock stages to be accessible in the playlist mode, and you can do a shuffle there.
Yeah.
Or you can customize the playlist order any way you want. If you want to play a particular stage multiple times in a row, you can create a playlist with up to 40 entries in it and just play any way you want. Basically.
Let's try 50% first before we get out of this area here.
Okay. This is a really fun stage too. I like it.
Yeah, Dark's an amazing stage. Kind of one of the first low tempo stages we're going to come across, so that's one thing to mention too. Each stage is going to be tailored to it. The timeline tempo will be depending on the music of the stage, right? So Dark, as we can hear, is kind of slower tempo, and as a result, our timeline moves slower, which actually makes it easier to get a large combo. I guess the downside is when you're in trouble, right? Because it will clear your blocks at a slower pace, right? So if you're playing towards the top and you make a square here, right, it's going to take longer for that square to disappear, so you can keep placing your blocks.
True.
But in terms of comboing and making giant globs of 2x2 squares, it's easier to do, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I do always recommend new players just focus on doing 2x2 squares. Like with each piece that comes up in the queue, like think about where you can put this on your play field that'll make a 2x2 square, and just kind of go from there. Don't worry too much about the timeline. The timeline is light time pressure, and it's definitely there, always moving. But don't worry about it don't stress about it too much.
But yeah, just to touch on that shuffle thing again. So, like CJ was saying, when you clear a stage in the Journey mode, you unlock it for playlist and actually for multiplayer. We'll get into that as well for the Burst Battle mode. You can unlock different skins there. But yeah, once you are in let's just make a new playlist here, and then hop into Shuffle. There we go. Look at that. Brand spanking new playlist, CJ.
Yeah. Perfect.
So,
or you could make a playlist with all slow tempo songs if
Yep.
you really want to like practice your combos. That's a good way to do it. Or if you want to practice like keeping your combos up on the higher speed stages, you can have a playlist that's all that as well.
Yeah, this is my wake up playlist where it goes from slow tempo to high tempo, if you can see that. I guess I could expand it further, but Steam Ahead is a good ending stage for me. We have a train stage in there, which I'm looking forward to you guys trying out. But
that is a really good one.
All right, so the playlist is pretty straightforward. I guess one unique thing here is you can also there's a theater mode, right? So if you want to have kind of a background simulator, or leave it on your monitor or your TV while you're eating dinner or whatever it may be, theater mode is popular in our past game as well, or past games as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like in Tetris Effect Connected, people would use theater mode, and this is a great thing to have in VR as well if you just want to chill out with the backgrounds.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. Or if you're just starting to get into Lumines and you want to see how the computer plays, it may impact how you play. Like you're being able to see, okay, well, the computer is doing things this way. Maybe if I tried to play that way, it would improve my own gameplay.
Right. Yeah, so for example, if you're trying to be better at combos, there's actually a play type modifier at the bottom, right? So it's move-oriented, square-oriented, or combo-oriented. So if you're trying to get better combos, set it combo-oriented, and the AI will try to create combos and play with that in mind, right? Right now, I have the speed set to slow. Might be more... you can set it to fast if you want. Of course, it's going to probably kick some butt here, but
being able to set it to slow is like, okay, if you're not getting your brain around the mechanics, which you can watch somebody, the computer, play and kind of see how they put together moves and how they connect everything. I think it's super helpful to have this in the game.
I do like theater mode because we point this out all the time. When you watch somebody play, you notice some things in the visuals on the stages that you don't really see sometimes when you're immersed in the gameplay. And even just looking at the stage, I didn't notice some of these bubble effects. But
and you can watch your Lumi float upside down.
All right. Oh, more dark. But let's hop out of playlist mode for now. Maybe we can make a playlist before we hop off here. We'll come back to that. But yeah, I think we did check out the tutorial earlier. Maybe we can check out some of the training missions beyond that. So we definitely suggest... CJ, I know you're a huge advocate for this kind of thing, right? Just checking out some of these puzzles, and it may kind of click something in your head that you haven't really thought of before, right? So let's open up like basic number 7, for example.
This clear 2 blue 2x2 squares, and the great thing here is in this mode it does not automatically drop the blocks, so you can really like puzzle it out for yourself. It's like, okay, how am I going to create 2 blue 2x2 squares? And the other thing that we'll show here is that the game actually shows you the count of how many squares you're making as you do it.
Yeah, so this like very simple mission will teach you more than one thing, right? So one, you want to be able to split your block here and create this 2x2 square. And 2, now what do I do, CJ? So now I can't make another blue square. You gotta have to kind of pay attention to the timeline, and that's a huge piece of advice for new players, right? So kind of like stack around the timeline. So we see our timeline here. What I like to do is kind of stack before it. So if I want to stack here, there it goes. It passed right when it passed me. I created the connection there, and that was the 2 2x2 squares.
And that was 2 2x2s.
So generally, I do recommend it's kind of like playing behind the timeline, right? So, and you can hop right into the next mission here. That's a late quality of life update. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
6 blue 2x2 squares. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this one especially shows the timeline thing we're talking about, right? So pretty much you have to stack quickly after that timeline passes. So I'll wait for it to pass here, and then I'll set up our giant square here. There we go.
You could do it in the first timeline pass, I'm sure, but if you were a player like me who is not as fast on the piece movement, you'll wait for the timeline.
Yeah. But as you go on, it kind of course, is going to escalate in difficulty and kind of teach you to wrap your brain around different things that you may not have thought of before. And of course, when you hop back into journey mode, you might be pleasantly surprised, like, once some of these things do click. If you get just a little bit better each time you play, like, you'll get over that hump very, very quickly, like quicker than you would imagine when it comes to Luminous.
Yeah. And these are all repeatable, too. Like, you can do a couple of these, go back into Journey, see how they add to your skills, and then come back and do some more or review some others. And, you know, a big thing for me was, like, what do I do about all these checkerboard blocks?
Yes.
Like, these are the worst, and I keep getting them. And there's lessons in here on how to deal with checkerboard blocks.
Yeah, here's like a double whammy. Teaches you checkerboard and chain block, right? So checkerboard, the key is to use block splitting, right? So, for example, this one's actually, takes me a second every time I look at this one. But yeah. So
me too.
You can use it to kind of level out the checker block, right? So we're gonna place it on this uneven surface here, and look, now it's kind of an even surface at the top, which makes nicely for this chain block. Chain blocks, you definitely want to wait for the timeline to pass on that to get the full coverage. Very satisfying. Oh wait, I failed.
But you failed. You didn't wait for it to pass. You did it a little too early, and it cleared one of the blue spheres.
Or did I?
You chained a little bit early. That's what happened.
Oh wait. Okay.
But here's the great thing: you can just
keep playing,
retry.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, you're good now.
Okay. I was questioning myself. But one thing to note here, I've played through all these missions, but you also get currency reward, the pwn, to spin at the Lumi pwn, which we'll show here in a moment. Kind of like the gacha machine, which gives you a lot of avatar decorations, nameplates, titles, stuff like that.
Yeah. And importantly, no duplicates.
Here's 3 checker blocks. Should we show this one off, CJ?
Sure, show that one.
Checker blocks tend to be the bane of everyone's existence. But rest assured, this one is actually an excellent example of a pattern. Sometimes you might even recognize this, like, just like the 3 blue squares here, right? So that's a great place to place a checker block, and you can do it over and over here. Look at that. Level it out very nicely.
Great. Yeah.
And those kind of things may take some repetition, of course, but really just enjoy the game, vibe out. Things will happen naturally, too, if you're not really into going through all the training missions back to back. And a more fun thing to do, if you go to a tab over within the mission mode, is the challenge mode. And I encourage you to play every one of these missions, full stop, just because they're so fun. And they teach you mechanics in a different, by adjusting the core gameplay of Luminous, right? For example, what should we do? Growth or Burst Rush, you think?
Both. Burst Rush.
Burst Rush. I feel like you would say that. All right. Burst of 300, that's quite big.
I'm going to say, like, even players coming from previous Luminous games, you might be like, well, I like Burst, but I don't really, like, it's not, I haven't gotten it yet. Or if you're new to Luminous entirely, you might be like, I don't know what I'm doing with Burst. This Burst Rush challenge is a great way to kind of see the effective power of Burst because of some of the things that come up a little bit later. But this is challenging you to achieve a total burst value of 300 within 3 minutes.
Which seems astronomical if you've just been playing through Journey mode, right? But we'll have some fun gimmicks popping up which will allow us to get that big burst.
Yeah. And you could try it, like, now, but there are some gimmicks that'll help you.
I'm pretty fast.
Yeah.
think you get locked out of your burst. Just keep on going. You never know.
Right. Try to connect squares of the same color to that burst any way you can. All right, so you got a 238.
Not too shabby.
That's pretty close to 300 already.
All right, unequal
but then
blocks.
we get these modifiers.
And unequal blocks means more of one color, which seems to be blue in this case, just looking at our preview.
Yep.
A lot of blue. So now I guess we can try
never
burst
happens
again.
to me when I'm just playing through turns.
Yeah.
Like all of one color. I'm always like, where's the color that I need?
This is pretty much just like all long bars of Tetris equivalent.
Yeah.
Now we get the large blocks, and this is where it gets fun.
So now it's a 2x3 block that you're placing. It's a little easier to get one color surrounding that burst block with this. So even if you are a slower player like myself, you get a pretty huge burst right here. And that'll hopefully help you with bursts in journey mode. Because they'll be like, oh, okay, I see what I'm supposed to do here. I see how I can do this. Holy 556.
It's the whole board.
The whole board gone in one go. That's the kind of thing that's possible at first in Rush. And it just gives you a little bit of that feeling of getting bursts, which if you're a new player especially, you may not be able to get that normally.
Yeah, so these challenges pretty much are just like fun ways to learn mechanics that exist, right? With things like Burst Rush. You might wrap your head around burst in a new way just by playing this, even though the blocks may be massive and mostly one color, right? But still, it's just a fun way to learn.
It's true.
I only got an A for that? What?
Oh, only an A with that burst.
Maybe I needed to burst sooner because we were talking for too long, waiting for the gimmicks to pop up. But
Possibly. There's some great challenges in this list, though. And
Absolutely.
the basic tier is unlocked at the beginning, so you can hop in and try some of these. And it'll help you out with bursts. It'll help you out with chains. The growth stage shows you really like what you can do with combos, with larger squares on the board.
Chains is just
all
an
really
excellent
fun.
way to learn about chain blocks because you get them so often too.
Yeah.
And I guess with the snake stage, it's meant to tell you like, hey, you should snake around your blocks because the chain block will follow the kind of the snake, right? So as we see here.
Right. Yeah. We have Spaghetti in the chat who says, I won't watch this stream because I'm experiencing
That's totally
blindly.
yeah, totally fun.
I just finished the third set of Journey Mode, just heading here to say that the game is the best thing I've played in a long time. Thank you, Spaghetti. We appreciate that a lot. Please tell your friends that they had all enjoy puzzle games. We'd love to grow this community.
Yeah, it's practically infinite chain blocks, so a great way to just kind of see how they work and create those snaking patterns that we're talking about. All right.
Oh, Brian Cat in the chat saying they've been having connectivity issues with getting online with the demo of Lumines Arise. The demo is currently turned off, so if you're using the demo right now, we have shut that off. So, time to upgrade to the full version and join everybody in that. We did continue the demo until launch past Steam Next Fest, but we have shut that off now.
Okay, so as you play through Lumines Arise, a nice place to unwind is the Lumines machine.
Definitely.
And pretty much I just hold enter here, and we're going to get a bunch of rewards here.
Yeah. You change those poem points for cosmetics that you can then equip on your Lumine. So different titles, different memories, different shaped heads, and body parts and things.
One more round of 10 here. What do we got? Give me something good. I am all for more titles because there's so many titles and funny combinations, so I want to get some fun ones.
Absolutely.
Here. Hot Shot's a good one. I like that.
That is a good one.
Right now, I'm the fashionable fool with our humanity background in the DLC.
Nice.
Let's see what we got. Spectacular. I'm more of like I like the absurd combos, right? So let's see.
Totally. Right there with you.
Square Sovereign has a nice ring to it.
That is good. It's got the alliteration going.
Pretty much any prefix word with the word baby is a baby word. Great King.
Cryptic Great King. Love that.
It's got to be a good Great King one. Big Bang Great. The number 2 Great King. I like that. Number 2 Great King.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Well, all right. I guess we can hop into... Let's hop into multiplayer. Because, for one, there are some good training modes in here as well. So... Let's hop into Quick Burst first. The arcade machine is very... it might catch your eyes when you first hop in here. And you can see the stage that is featured on the machine above is Arise, which is the first stage of the journey mode. Let's hop in here. And Quick Burst is just a great way to practice your burst. You kind of start with your max burst with an empty board. And your goal is to make the biggest burst possible. And once the burst ends, the round ends. So you can keep playing after that. And there's a daily leaderboard. So every day, the level will switch out. And you can contend for the leaderboard.
That's right. This is also a good place that's sort of sandboxy because there's no
100%.
There's no level progression here. It's just kind of place to relax. Anywhere, and you can just practice with no penalty, no time limit. It's a nice little practice space.
Also fun to lab out bursts, like we were saying earlier. If you intentionally don't clear, that means you have more resources when we do finally burst here.
Right. And if you're a player that gets anxiety when you're almost ready to top out, like doing it in a mode like this so that you can practice burst is actually beneficial, I think. Burst is pretty key to this Rise mechanics. There we go. 208. Nicely done.
Perfect of where our box was there. But all right. And
then it'll count up here. I love the count up. It's very nice.
So it's like when you hit one of those punching arcade things, right? The punching back. Let's see if we can get it 9999. But yeah, if you head to the data tab, you can also check out your records, stuff like that. And I believe there is a platform ranking and or world ranking for the Quick Burst mode. So as we see on Arise here, Paradox showing off the 546. But I'm not even in the top 10 here. We got some big bursts already from some players, which is great. Also a lot of T-Tetraminos and the Res Hacker. But yeah, you can also, if you kind of click into it further, you can scope in. So press enter on time attack, and you can see the whole leaderboard here, if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. And you can sort it by friends. So let's see. I'm at the top of the pack so far with our mostly dev-related friends, it seems. But, all right. So leaderboard league. This is where actually I think I've spent the most time in Lumines Arise, CJ. And maybe we can explain why. So we have the time attack 60, which is very straightforward. There's also the longer format, so if you want to vibe out for 5 minutes and kind of test your consistent skill versus, or 60 is more of like, not the burst mode, but a burst of speed, right? Let's open it up and show it off.
Yeah. And for a new player too, this is a great way to see where your skills are currently, and then continue to come back to time attack and see how much you've improved.
But yeah, very straightforward. Every 2x2 square you clear, it's going to add to that counter to the top right, and following 1 minute, your score is shown. So really, my favorite part about this mode is that it's very noticeable when you are improving, because your time keeps improving, right? So even if it's just like 1% each week, you're going to be better before you know it. So if you start with 40 squares, and you keep playing the game, you're probably going to end up at 50, 60, 70 before you know it. So.
Yeah.
High score tracking is what gets me hooked on puzzle games.
Yes.
It's a constant state of improvement and learning. But
I totally understand that too. I just like it as a gauge to see how I'm doing with the mechanics, like.
And then
but I'm not I'm not a pro player at all. I'm much a casual Luminous player.
I think of Dig Down as the ultimate test of Luminous. Kind of like includes multiple things, right? You have to be able to downstack, you have to be able to clear quickly. Pretty much everything. This is like it's probably the best test of skill, in my opinion, of your Luminous gameplay. So you can come back here every once in a while and check your score, see if you're improving. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, and this is a downstacking focused mode.
Yeah.
The blocks raise every few seconds, and then of course as you do better and better, I think every 100 squares, right, it speeds up. So this is a really good way to gauge your own skill. But even as a beginning player, you can play Dig Down and have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, again, just like giving you a scenario where you have to downstack is a nice way to practice your skills.
Yeah, the nice thing that you mentioned is that the checkpoints are square total base, right? So it'll start off really at a slower pace. It scales to your skill level. So if you're not going to get to 100 squares very quickly, you'll be of the slower speed for a long time, if that makes sense. Whereas if you're fast, you'll get to those faster checkpoints sooner, and it gets actually quite crazy, and we are super excited to see who can master the Dig Down mode.
Yeah. Even though I'm just a casual Luminous player, this is maybe my favorite mode to come back to, just because it's so much fun to practice downstack.
Yeah.
Just is.
Just very satisfying. That's what you want to do, right? You want to clear out the board. So, nice clean board when you play a puzzle game.
You can even let aside, as you are doing right now, the left side. You can let that side pop out, and it'll continue. So every square inch of the playfield is full.
So I notice I have an upcoming chain block with a flashing D-pad, right? And chain blocks are super key to survive in this mode, right? Especially when you get to the higher speeds and things are ramping up quite quick. So I like to try to connect it where I can.
Nice.
Sometimes when I have that chain block coming up on my queue, I literally will take a moment to be like, okay, what are my next steps to connect as many blocks as possible?
Right, you have to. Billy on YouTube, welcome on in. Billy says, we have puzzle mode like remastered, the one where you try to make shapes. Actually, puzzle mode there is a way to play at least a slightly reduced version of that in Lumines Arise in the challenges. So we were showing the Burst Rush challenge earlier. There are 2 puzzle challenges within that are basically puzzle mode from remastered.
Puzzle mode was more of a you love it or hate it kind of mode for a lot of people, but I personally love puzzle mode. And yeah, there are 2 puzzle missions in the challenge mode.
And it is a much more hardcore type.
Yeah, one of them is pretty hard, and the other, actually the other one's kind of hard too. I think it's kind of an advanced thing.
Yes.
But yeah, if you like the old school puzzle mode, there's a little bit of that for you.
A little bit of.
Taking my time here, but I might not be able to do that soon.
The end. Yeah. At 290.
There we go.
All right,
so
now your timeline is really moving quickly. Yeah. That's the kind of challenge that Dig Down is, and it's gonna be great to see
what makes it so addictive too is I want to see how fast it gets, if you know what I mean. Like, how crazy does it actually get? Right. So I'm like, oh, I want to get to the next tier to see what's cooking. But all right, not too bad there.
Good deal.
Yeah, let's definitely check out Dig Down mode if you're like me. So the leaderboard league, one thing to note on the weekend Lumi live event. So every weekend we have a 72-hour event where you can contribute to the overall goal. I know it's hard to paint a picture without it actually happening, but generally there'll be a big vision. So we'll have a massive particle Godzilla type thing where it's going to be walking around. You can contribute to the goal to get rewards. So more opponents win at the Lumipon, and then also you'll get a special event avatar depending on what the vision is, right, CJ?
Right. Yeah, if the community goal is met over the 72 hours, then everyone who played during that time will receive a special Lumi Avatar reward, special headpiece, which is really cool. The multiplayer hub changes as you get closer to the goal. Like it has various stages of celebration as the community nears the goal. And as you were just showing, like Quick Burst and the Leaderboard League, I mean, they're in the multiplayer hub, but they're not multiplayer modes in that they're not like a versus a live opponent. It's more of a leaderboard chase.
But then there is the Burst Battle mode, which is kind of the core multiplayer mode in Lumines Arise. 1v1, kind of standard back and forth puzzle game. I kind of wish the notifications popped up as if I was a first-time player here. But maybe we can just hop into an AI match and kind of go over a few of the what is Burst Battle. So by the way, if you do want to play locally, just hop into create custom match, set local, and if you have a number of players to 1, that just means the CPU will be available.
Yeah.
So let's just set it to 3 so we can just chill out. No, even just 2. And you can have some fun with it, by the way, if you want to turn on, let's see how quickly the burst counter increases. So you can do a lot of burst, long burst duration, higher gravity, more chain blocks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see if the CPU can take on the number 2 Great King here.
We should show selecting your background song as well.
Which I have Rise and Fall currently.
Yeah, and you can customize the CPU's settings as well, like their Lumi look and also what stage pieces in the song they are playing.
So yeah, we can customize the computer as well. Let's set it to Dave the Diver here. And
perfect.
Should we give Dave his entourage? Let's see. There it is.
Let's do it. Dave the Diver, of course, part of the Digital Deluxe DLC on Steam. So he is exclusive to the Steam version, and if you're on PlayStation 5, it's Astropod is the 4th avatar.
Let's give Dave a water
theme avatars for Tetris Effect, Res, Infinite, and Humanity.
But yeah, if you go to the customize menu, go to the far right, there's the block category, which is referring to the block type that you use in Burst Battle, which also includes the music. So this will be kind of your home stage in Burst Battle. So if you're the higher seeded player going into a match, you'll start first with your song of choice. The away team goes second. And then there is a tiebreaker stage as well if you go to round 3, which is unique to that round. All right, what are we feeling, CJ? And or chat? I did mention the cooking stage earlier.
Let's do cooking. Slice and dice.
Slice and dice.
Slice and dice is a great stage. I mean, I like all the stages personally, but slice and dice is great.
I don't know if it's been a while since I've used slice and dice in Burst Battle.
I think this is even the phase 3 blocks. It's not starting from the earlier blocks. Question in the chat, will there be more music in the future? If you're talking about music releases in terms of what's on Spotify or streaming or like the OST, we will be making announcements about that soonish, so stay tuned. Additions to the game, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how well it does on Steam and see where that goes.
All right, so Burst Battle. When we create squares and or attacks, we're going to send these purple, we call them garbage blocks, kind of like these construction-looking blocks, right, on the sides. So they fill in the sides and they enclose into the center. You can get rid of these blocks if you build 2x2 squares next to them. So you can, in a sense, kind of downstack, play defensively if you would like to. I think it's pretty fun to try it, just to kind of lab out and get rid of the pesky purple blocks.
See what you can do with that.
Yeah. And I think we'll see some cool strategies and stuff for that in the future.
It's funny going into multiplayer mode. I don't know if I would suggest new players go right into multiplayer. This is sort of maybe a thing you try after, or after you're at least a little bit more familiar with the mechanics. But oftentimes you start a match in Burst Battle and you know immediately how it's going to go, just in terms of how quickly the other players placing their blocks. And it's always fun when your opponent starts a burst and you can look over and see how big the burst is that's coming your way. It's kind of great.
I will say,
but as a new player, you should definitely check out the local play, like versus CPU, like we're doing right here. That'll help you get your feet wet without having to worry too much about getting schooled.
And if you do want to meet people and find people to play with, you could also just set up an unranked custom lobby and turn on some HUD settings and stuff like that.
This is true. You could join our Discord at discord.gg/enhance and come in and say, hey, I've got a multiplayer lobby up, like I'm new to the game, let's play, and put in the lobby code and have a lot of fun. I think we have a really pretty welcoming community.
Yeah. Something about the... I play a lot of multiplayer games, CJ, and I will say the puzzle game community, in terms of multiplayer, as somebody that's also played the wonderful MOBA games out there and FPS games that have community members on voice chat. But anyways, yes, the puzzle game community is very welcoming and very wholesome. I always say it's wholesome, the Tetris community, and really nice.
Dave's just kind of chilling out there. Some quick attacks.
Alright. I think it's time I finally burst. Try to take it easy on my friend Dave here.
We love Dave the Diver. It's a great game. We're thrilled that Rocket we were able to do the cameo with them. And Sony on PlayStation 5 with Astrobot. Will there be future collabs? Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be fun too.
Of course, yeah, we would love that kind of thing.
Yeah. Awesome. $228. I think he killed them.
All right, Dave. It's time to go back to the restaurant.
Yes. Nicely done.
Alrighty. So that's a little taste of Burst Battle. And yeah, definitely don't be too discouraged or too anxious. Just kind of course, like CJ said, you can ease your way into it, whether you're just playing against CPU or set up friend lobbies and stuff like that. Ranked matches may be a little lopsided to start while people are getting placed where they belong. So don't be like, oh man, I'm horrible at the game, when there's a good chance you're playing a top 5 player as the game just launched today. So just keep that in mind. And all right. So anything else in multiplayer? I think we covered every game mode there is. And of course, yeah, definitely hop on this weekend. We'll be sharing the news and stuff like that for the Weekend Lumines Live event. Can't wait to hang out with y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, you can walk around and see. So generally, these are people that are online currently. You'll see. There's a good chance you'll see someone that is in the Burst Battle queue, right? So, for example, Blind Rod is a community member here. The tenured chairperson, I love it. So I can scope out Blind Rob's stats. If I lose to Blind Rob, I'm like, oh, they're an S-rank player. Okay, that's totally cool. But all right. So what else should we cover here, CJ? We kind of dabbled a little bit everything. Maybe I can go back into missions just for a moment and mention that puzzle mode that was brought up here is the challenge. Sure. So you have to get to advanced. So when you complete all the basic missions, you'll unlock the advanced missions, and you'll get access to the first puzzle mode. And some of these missions have more than one. So there's also a puzzle 2, which is a harder variant of the previous puzzle mission, right? But pretty much this is exactly like the old classic Luminous puzzle mode. It shows the puzzle in the bottom left there. So we would want to make a donut. Or whatever you perceive that as.
Yeah.
There we go. And then once the timeline passes through there, the puzzle is complete. Then you have to go on to this next one, so we have to make a larger donut. And this gets a little trickier. And in a way, it does teach you... I do genuinely think all these missions teach you Luminous in kind of its own way, right? This teaches you kind of how to set up a 2x2 delayed with that donut block, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I see a donut, CJ. So it is.
It is the donut.
And also, I guess patience kind of teaches you a little bit. So I like to wait for specific blocks for the pattern.
And all of these challenges are kind of meant to stretch your thinking about the mechanics, and I find anyway, like playing through them, it helps me with journey mode. It helps me with burst battle, like to know all of these different scenarios that I can more easily deal with.
Now here's the hard one, the big donut. Massive. Yeah, regular, I guess small, regular, and large donut.
Yes.
And yeah, if you want advice...
Pinky in the chat
go ahead.
Is asking, is there a versus CPU mode like the original games with the 10 unique CPU opponents? Not like previous Luminous games, no. We were just showing in Burst Battle you can do a local game versus CPU and set their player level, like their skill level. So that is how versus CPU is done now. There's no longer a sort of progression with that, like in previous Luminous games.
I do want to mention, I think it was brought up earlier, but just to hit home again, because we do have a lot of classic Luminous players out there. Yeah, this is more Tetris Effect eyes, or however you want to put it, whereas you go from area to area with a set amount of stages, right? But when you do complete the journey mode for the first time, you can move over to the survival tab on the top there, and you play through all the levels in one sequence as you would classic Lumines, and there's a separate leaderboard for that.
Yeah.
And it's probably the ultimate challenge in terms of journey, at least, to try to complete survival on hard. So if you want to work towards that,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we've covered just about everything. Maybe we can close it out with making a custom playlist here.
Sure. Oh, I just want to mention, if you enjoy the music in Lumines Arise, and we have 2 tracks currently on streaming, but you can check lumines.game/music for links to all of that stuff to either purchase on Bandcamp or stream via Spotify or Apple Music or other services.
All right. So let's make the launch day playlist.
Launch day playlist.
When you think launch, what do you think? And of course, if anyone has any level suggestions, feel free. But I, for one, do think astronaut launch into space here. So maybe we can.
That's a definite, like, zero
start with
gravity
that.
is the name of that stage. What about the plane stage in the 3rd row? Forget.
Oh, that's a
like
later
going
stage, but
home
we can
or
preview that.
Winding Road.
Yeah.
It is a later stage. That's a good one. So. Rise and Fall's good.
Rise and Fall.
Rise and
Kind
Fall
of.
is
Oh,
always
you know
a
what? That should
classic.
be before. That's like the lift into the space shuttle. There we go. We got.
That's right.
Let's see.
I think it works.
Oh, when you're in space, you could see the space seals, but maybe we'll leave that one.
You mean the dugongs?
Yeah.
Maybe we should play that one. We should play
Do that one?
Or
Okay.
Under the Radar's good. I like Star Out of the Block. It's a slower stage, but very nice.
All right. Let's hop into it.
This is a great playlist.
I like it.
I love it.
Launch day might stay there for a while.
All right, we have a question on YouTube. Thank you for creating an amazing port for PSVR 2. Please add multiplayer modes to VR as well. They are available in VR.
Yep.
You should be able to play multiplayer in the multiplayer hub in VR.
Of course, if there's any specific like VR only features or something that you feel is missing from a mode, whether it's multiplayer or something like that, definitely let us know. We're open to all feedback, whether it's on Discord or if you reach out to us via our support channels and stuff like that. But generally, we definitely encourage you to make suggestions to us on the Discord. We have a forum there going currently, and that would allow other community members to weigh in on your suggestions.
Yes. The stage is great. I love how the blocks reflect what floor you're on, I suppose. Or how many, it's not how many squares you've made, right? It's slightly different. It's like where you are.
I think
in
you
the
are.
stage.
I think you're correct. I don't know if I paid that much attention to that. I should know this.
Because you get up to the roof, too, where it says R instead of a number.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the floor you're on.
Very fun aspect of the game. And of course, you see the little stick figures kind of running around the board. That happens on a number of stages. The different ancillary animals or people running around.
Maybe a cat.
Maybe a cat.
All right. One thing I do want to note about the burst is kind of the burst graphics and the effects depend on which block you kind of enter the burst with. Generally, I recommend having something on your board before you press burst, unless you're in trouble or something like that. So, for example, if I want to go with blue, I'll start with my blue blocks here, and that pretty much ensures we go into burst with our blue pattern. It's kind of like a... What even is that? It's like a... science, sine wave. A lot of things going on this blue block.
A lot of things happening, yeah.
I love the if you make a giant astronaut block, you'll get a giant astronaut flying at you.
Love that, love that.
There it goes.
Question on Twitch. Are there any levels here similar to Da Vinci from Tetris Effect? The entire soundscape for that level was just the movement, rotation, and dropping of your pieces, and it was awesome.
This one was similar block style, but not this. I think musically it might be a different stage. So nothing quite.
Maybe.
Da Vinci is definitely a different feel in Tetris Effect. I'm very familiar with that stage. But we do have a windmill block, I believe, in the Greece stage, CJ? Santorini.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But also, I'd say in this game, every move of like every piece rotation, all the movement, dropping your pieces, having the timeline go over squares, like all of it contributes to the soundscape in a different way. And one way to really see how that works in Lumines Arise is to go into the options and turn off the music and just have the sound effects going. And you can really like appreciate what the sound team has done with every movement in Lumines Arise. Kind of a unique way to experience it.
All right, this is one of the slowest tempo stages we have in Lumines Arise.
Gonna make it easier to get a huge burst.
But it makes it harder if you are at the top of your board, especially on that hard difficulty. Right now we have no stress luminous turned on, by the way, so an accessibility feature. But if we turn that off, we can some gravity here. Yeah, there's a little bit of gravity.
A little higher gravity.
It's kind of a later stage, so higher gravity plus slow timeline this could be a roadblock for some people, but I believe it.
Yeah. It's certainly more challenging. Question on YouTube. Easy, medium, hard difficulty, you have to clear more squares, 90 or 120, or is there a different speed like in Tetris Effect?
Both.
It's both, yeah.
Yeah, so the square counter will increase depending on the difficulty, and the gravity will increase depending on the difficulty.
The gravity, yeah. Unless you turn on no stress luminous. And then if you have it so that pieces won't automatically fall, then that'll be different.
Yep. So if you go to no stress luminous type 1, that's no gravity. Type 2 turns off game over, and type 3 is both. So I know this was a huge request in Tetris Effect, and I'm happy we can finally have that implemented here in Lumines Arise. Yeah, if you want to just kind of get through the journey mode, check out all the stages, and then test your skill more after that. Or if you're a brand new player, this is just an amazing way to learn the game. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Highly recommend checking out those settings and going into training.
The tricky part about this stage is the block falls almost instantly. Not so much fast gravity, but it instantly starts dropping. So if you're in some trouble up at the top here, you gotta quickly get
your
right
pieces to one side or the other.
Yeah, I like to hold right or left if I'm in that situation, just to kind of pre-buffer the piece.
Getting in a little bit of trouble there.
That's why this is just showcasing the slow timeline can be tricky.
Right. Absolutely can.
And there was the mandatory space dugong level. Now we're going into the
Winding Road.
Very chill stage.
Yes.
I do love the kind of the sun block as well.
Yeah. Kind of going on a journey. very appropriate for launch or something. It feels like you're going down this road at a very fast pace. You can almost take off and start flying.
But yeah, one thing we haven't talked about too much yet today is that one thing I like to take on a road trip like we are on right now is a Steam Deck, CJ, and this game runs amazing on Steam Deck and has been recently verified.
Yeah, we are Steam Deck verified, so if you have a Steam Deck, you know you're going to get a really good experience from Lumines Arise, and that's awesome because the series itself has portable gaming roots.
Yeah.
First Lumines game was a launch title for the PlayStation Portable over 20 years ago, and it feels so good on the Steam Deck. It's just such a nice game on the Steam Deck, whether you're playing on the LCD version or the OLED. Looks great.
Well, all right. I think we're just about at closing time. If we have any more questions, definitely reach out to us on our Discord at discord.gg/enhance, and or if you have any running into any issues or anything like that, of course, we're open on our support channel, stuff like that. But yeah, huge thank you for everyone that tuned in for our launch overview. We cannot wait for you all to get your hands on this game finally, as of today, CJ. I don't need to keep preaching.
It's out.
Yeah, the wish list kind of thing. Just the game's here. Go play it. So yeah, definitely check out the journey mode, maybe hop in missions a little bit, do your own thing. Some people I know, one of our playtesters hopped right into mission mode. That's just kind of the person they are, right? But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it if you haven't already. I know a lot of you are playing as we speak, most likely. But
and of course, join the weekend Lumi Live event that's going to start on Friday and go for 72 hours. And you can unlock your very first special avatar reward.
Yes.
Should we spoil what it is?
We can do
I guess we kind of can, because the astronaut level is in the Lumi Live event during the demo period, and now that's going to start with the astronaut in the full game. So you get a nice astronaut helmet reward for your Lumi if you participate and if the community goal is met. So yeah, it's going to be
crushing
awesome.
somebody in zone burst battle. Excuse me. You're going to want that astronaut helmet. But
yeah, and remember, anything in the multiplayer hub counts towards the community goal during the weekend Lumi Live event. So you could be doing versus CPU, you could be doing quick burst, you could be doing leaderboard league stuff with time attack. It all counts towards the community goal. So you don't have to play against real people if you don't want to.
YouTube chat, I'm enjoying the game so far. Bought the deluxe edition immediately on the release, and yeah, maybe we can cover the deluxe edition super quick here. Yeah, we'll start with the Steam version. As we mentioned earlier, we have Dave the Diver in the action as our kind of our third-party game here. But we have the Humanity Shiba Inu, the Tetris Effect Connected, T Tetramino, Dave the Diver, and the Res Hacker from Res Infinite on Steam. And then for PlayStation 5, we have our wonderful friend Astrobot, which happens to fit right in my opinion, as a Lumi in Lumines Arise, CJ.
Absolutely. Totally agree. It's great to see Astro dancing around during burst battles, or really during any part of the journey mode itself. So these Lumi avatars aren't just for burst battle. You know, you can bring them into the journey mode and have them be your in-game avatar the entire way through. Mm-hmm. It is kind of an enhanced supporter pack kind of deal. It's only $5 more than the standard edition, but it's just a fun way to like imp your fandom of other enhanced games, or Dave the Diver or Astrobot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope we can. We mentioned, I hope we can do more of this kind of stuff in the future. I guess who knows what will happen. But yeah, shout out to Mint Rocket with Dave the Diver and Team Asobi with Astrobot. Yeah, it's amazing to have them in our game. And of course, we're huge gamers, CJ and I, and his team. So we're just so happy that they're in Lumines Arise. But okay, I think that's pretty much it for our launch overview stream. If you have any questions, definitely don't be shy. Hang out with us on our Discord. chat with us on our socials, etc. We'll also be hanging out, watching streams on YouTube and Twitch if you're a streamer or anything like that. So look out for enhanced experience in your chat. There's a good chance we'll be lurking. So yeah, thank you everyone. I have a note here that's outdated that says wishlist the game. No, the game is available. Go play the game, and I guess if you're waiting for to play it later on, you can wishlist it. But don't forget about it.
And tell your friends. Tell us what you think of the game on social media or on Discord. Like, we want to hear your feedback, and we hope you like the game. But any feedback you might have is very much worth it and welcome.
Yeah, 100%. We're hoping to do some quality of life stuff and definitely make your voice heard. We want to make this the ultimate Luminous experience for you. So cool. I think as we close out here, we're going to play our launch trailer, our new trailer that dropped today if you missed it. But everyone, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and enjoy your day and or night. Enjoy some Luminous.
Bye, everybody.
Yep. Bye.